Do you know what this is? Of course, it's the Star of David mentioned in the Bible, right? Wrong. Actually, there is no place in the Bible where there is a mention of the Star of David. But there are several places in the Bible that mentions stars and religious stars, emblems of worship and idolatry. In the introduction, I showed an image of the American flag. The information in this video is not a comparison between the national flag of Israel and the national flag of America, simply to show the geometric shape between a star and a triangle. The points do not overlap and they are not intertwined. There are two vital histories concerning the alleged Star of David. There's the human side, which shows the natural progression of the alleged Star of David on their national flag. And there's the biblical side, which reveals the condemnation of that so-called Star of David. In this video, we will look at both sides. The images of the Jews in this video who were deported from Germany are the Ashkenazi Jews, the descendants who now occupy the state of Israel.
I posted a video on Facebook May the 14th, 2020, titled Ashkenaz. The video is about 29 minutes long. Please view that video to get a better understanding of the Ashkenazi Jew.
The so-called Star of David has a deeply involved history, so involved that I must narrow this information down to dealing with just the design of the star, the exploitation of it, and the biblical facts and condemnation of the star. This star, which is actually not a star, rather a hexagram shaped by two overlaid equilateral triangles. This design dates back as far as the 17th century, which would be the 1800s. But during the time of the German occupied territory and the persecution of the Ashkenazi Jew, this star was a badge of shame, a badge of pain, and outright physical persecution. Everyone was able to tell who was a Jew because in another 16th century papal provision reiterated in the 1775 edict, Jews were required to wear a special badge on their clothes. Jews of both sexes must wear a yellow-colored sign by which they are distinguished from others, and they must always wear it at all times and places, both in the ghettos and when they are outside of them. The men were to wear.
This was part of the national persecution of the Ashkenazi Jew in Germany and its occupied territory.
The symbol, which historically was not limited to use by Jews, originated in antiquity when, side by side with the five-pointed star, it served as a magical sign or as a decoration. In the Middle Ages, the Star of David appeared with great frequency among Jews, but did not assume any special religious significance. Jewish liturgy signifies God as the protector, shield of David, gained currency among medieval Jewish mystics who attached magical powers to King David's shield, just as earlier non-Jewish magical traditions had referred to the five-pointed star as the seal of Solomon. Kabbalists popularized the use of the symbol as a protection against evil spirits. Mysticism. The belief that direct knowledge of God, spiritual truth, or ultimate reality can be attained through subjective experience, such as intuition or insight. Vague speculation, a belief without sound basis, a theory postulating the possibility of direct and intuitive acquisition of ineffable knowledge or power. Kabbalah, a medieval and modern system of Jewish theosophy, mysticism, thaumaturgy, marked by belief in creation through emanation and a cipher method of interpreting scripture. a traditional, esoteric, occult, or secret matter, esoteric doctrine, or mysterious art. The so-called Star of David was created and established as the national emblem of Israel, coming from a strong rabbinic background of magic, witchcraft, and occultism. There is zero reference in the scripture about a Star of David. Rather, if there is any symbol the Yehudim can embrace, it would be this. Clearly, the burning bush represents a people not consumed, yet existing in the depths of the refiner's fire. Such is the history of the true Hebrews of Scripture, in the fiery furnace of life, but not consumed. Ever see this before? Of course you have. It is the more popular symbol that identifies Freemasonry. This post is not about Freemasonry as such, but the design of the alleged Star of David heavily involves beliefs and practices of Freemasonry. Exoterically, the equilateral triangle is presented by the compass of the square and compass as when that symbol is opened to the extent of 60 degrees, as it should be, and a third and connecting side connecting the ends of the legs is supplied. We have presented the equilateral triangle again. When the three lesser lights are placed about the altar, they define the equilateral triangle. What about this symbol? Look familiar? That's because it is on every single dollar bill of the United States. What does that tell you of the foundation and infrastructure of Freemasonry? It stretches worldwide and across most religions.
These are all images from a book titled A New Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. And for the remainder of this post, I will use the term Hexagon instead of the Star of David.
Even the Igbo and Limba people have embraced this false star, which is not a star at all, but a hexagon. The hexagram was brought to the Yehudim by Shemuel, Solomon, when he turned to witchcraft and idolatry after his marriage to Pharaoh's daughter in 922 BC. It became known as the Seal of Shemuel, Solomon, in Egyptian magic and witchcraft. David, had absolutely nothing to do with the hexagram, and that star most certainly did not, in any way, represent the people of Elohim. Shemuel gave himself up to satanic worship and built altars to Ashtoreth and Molech. And sovereign Shaloma loved many foreign women, in addition to the daughter of Pharaoh, Moabite, Ammonite, Edomite, Sidonian, and Hittite women from the nations of whom Yahuwah had said to the children of Israel, "You do not go into them, and they do not go into you, for they shall certainly turn away your hearts after their mighty ones." Shaloma clung to these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. Melachim Aleph 11, 1-3, 1 Kings. The Arabs afterward gave the name of Solomon's seal to the six-pointed star-like figure. This example, called Magen Dawid, is a look-alike or similar type of seal of Solomon. Notice the equilateral triangle effect. Because they have forsaken me and bowed themselves to Ashtoreth, the mighty one of the Sidonians, to Chemosh, the mighty one of the Moabites, and to Milcom, the mighty one of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways to do what is right in my eyes, and my laws, and my right rulings, as did his father David. Melachim Aleph 11:33, 1 Kings. The Babylonian Talmud gives a detailed account of traditional beliefs about King Solomon. This is an excerpt from Babylonian Talmud, Tractate 68a and b, wherein King Solomon is having a conversation with supernatural beings, angels, and demons. Solomon kept him with him until he had built the temple. One day, when he was alone with him, he said, "It is written, he hath as it were Ta'afoth and Re'im." And we explained that Ta'afoth means the ministering angels and Re'im means the demons. In that same tractate, Solomon is said to have a signet ring made of copper and iron, wherein he has power over angels and demons. In short, Talmudic beliefs and traditional rabbinic teachings seem to indicate that Solomon was heavy into mysticism as well as occultism, which explains the equilateral triangles ascribed to King Solomon and not to David. Thus far, it is clear that the hexagon of the state of Israel is saturated with ancient beliefs and practices involving magic, witchcraft, symbolism, Freemasonry, and King Solomon. Nowhere and no history involves David or King David. Like all else involved with the Ashkenazi Jews who converted to Judaism, falseness on end of their religious practices. But you took up Sikhath, your sovereign, and Kiyum, your idols, your astral mighty ones, which you made for yourselves. Amos 5:26. And you took up the tent of Molech, and the star of your mighty one, Kiyum, images which you made to bow before them. Therefore I shall remove you beyond Babel. Maaseh 7:43, Acts. The hexagon, or hexagram, has 3 sixes, a 6 within a 6, 6, 6, 6. Count the sides of each triangle facing the clockwise direction, the sides facing the counterclockwise direction, and the third 6, the sides of the inner hexagon. The alleged Star of David should properly be called the hexagon of the state of Israel. This is H.S. Yaakov, his bondservant and watchman. Shalom wa barawak ak wa akwath. Always to the esteem of the Most High, Elohim-YAH.